Francisco Diego, he's a lecturer of physics and astronomy at the University College in London. As I understand, just to put this in context, Diego, this is kind of fairly uncharted territory. Well, not often charted territory. This mission is much higher altitude, isn't it? Much higher than the ISS, and it's further than most previous space missions have gone out into outer space.
Yeah, that's right. The maximum altitude that they achieved on the first day after launch was about 3 times higher, just over 3 times higher than the International Space Station, which is quite an elliptical orbit. Now they have reduced the orbit for these extravehicular activities to about half of that distance, or a little bit less than half of that distance.
Does that complicate things? Does it have any effect on their activities up there?
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. This idea of exploring the radiation levels, that high actually, it's only 1,400 kilometers, it's not that high really, but still there is more radiation at that altitude, and it's important is to start analyzing or remember how these things were when the Apollo mission was there, was traveling far away. But now we have the new technology, and we are trying to test ways of exploring the radiation beyond the low Earth orbit. So this is a very first step, which is going to give very important data for future missions.
Well, I mean, I know they're testing out these suits, which have been designed by SpaceX, very different to the previous suits, which have been NASA designed at great expense, and they're testing out communication systems like Starlink. Do you really think we're going to get some significant results from this?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The problem with, if you remember, I mean, the Apollo mission we had 2 different suits. They have the suits that they have during the capsule for extravehicular activities and for moon exploration. They have to put another spacesuit specially. And now for extravehicular activities in the space station, the same thing. They have to wear a very special suit, which is complicated and heavy and well pressurized and everything. These other suits are much lighter, much simpler, and they have elastic materials, still pressurized. And then we will see now in these images here how the astronauts, Jared and Sarah, were actually moving the arms and trying to stretch and to check the movements of the shoulders and the elbows to check the freedom of motion that is required for these activities. I think that was one of the main not problems, but one of the main aspects of this mission is to test these new spacesuits.
As I understand, Francisco, the billionaire on board, Jared Isaacman, has paid a lot of the money towards the cost of this voyage. So is this something that's an isolated one-off, it's a whim of a billionaire, or is it something that could be repeated?
Well, I hope it's just a one-off. I mean, really, we want to see this more official, and this is important. Yes, of course, that we have this initiative to start thinking about this. But I wouldn't like to say, it's very difficult to predict, but this is my personal opinion. I wouldn't like to see this like a kind of the millionaire or billionaire or trillionaire. Now it is coming kind of exclusive club that are going to start the space exploration in this way. I don't think so.
Interesting response.
So I think
it's an
example, and then NASA and the institutions have to follow up. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, an interesting response. I wasn't expecting that, but I appreciate your frankness. Dr. Francisco Diego from University College London, my guest there.